What's good? What's good, y'all? Your boy Justin Henry here, live Justin Henry Show. J Hen Fantasy, man. If you're new here, tap in. I'm gonna be going over running back rankings today. Hopefully, y'all can hear the video, man. I know sometimes the last few times I've had some audio issues, I have technical issues, but today we on, baby, and I'm gonna be going over all of the running back rankings. So I'm gonna kind of go like through my rankings with you guys. I know a lot of people have been asking for like, hey, Justin, where you have this player ranked? Justin, where you have this player ranked? And normally I do my updates and then release all my rankings at once, but I'm gonna go through it with some of you guys. All right. So that way, if you guys got questions, I'm gonna go through the players. My boy Keaton in the comments. Shout out to Keaton. If you guys have a comment about something, leave it in there. But Keaton asked me to do running backs, to go over all the running backs, and I'm gonna be doing that today. So I'm gonna be sharing my screen and actually just doing my rankings right in front of you guys, like how I do my live updated rankings, and give you a chance to see where I'm at. So shout out to everybody who's gonna be chilling with me. The one thing I'm asking today is in the comment section, let's try to keep it on the player. Let's try to keep it like if I'm going over Bijan, let's keep the Bijan questions coming in and we'll get to other players, or I'm probably gonna skip over it. So that's just my one ask in the comments, is that we keep it to the player. All right. If y'all want to show some love in the comments, make sure y'all drop a like on this video. Like I said, I'm going to be going over my rankings for the next hour and a half. So feel free to ask away, right? Obviously, this is the Fantasy Pros expert rankings. I'm one of the experts on there. You guys are going to see my running backs today. I'm going to try to get through at least like 40, maybe 45. I'm going to try in about the next hour and a half to get through 45. So, another thing, too, if you guys got any other questions, I'm going to be throwing a lot more on social media. I told you guys that before, but I genuinely – let me see if I can switch this view up real quick. Which one looks better? Hold on. That's better right there. I'm going to throw a lot more rankings up on social media here very soon. Not more rankings, excuse me. A lot more videos on the social media here very soon. So just know it's coming. And if you guys don't want to see as much content, it's fine. Just hit the unfollow. But if you do want to see content, it's going to start coming in bunches. So I don't really care about the views this time. I'm just going to start posting stuff so you guys have it, right? It'll be clips of some of the stuff that's already been posted, and then longer form videos as well. All right, AJ, what's good, my boy? What's good, my boy? Shout out to you, Brad. Appreciate you tapping in. I'm going over the rankings for all running backs right now. Let's start off here in the first round. Actually, let me get on TikTok too real quick. I'm going to live it on TikTok real quick. I'm stress testing my my capabilities of being live at the same time on YouTube, TikTok, etc. So hopefully the comments work. Last time I went on TikTok, I was having issues with the comments. All right, let's see. Chat over here so I can see it. Chat over here so I can see it. Boom, baby. We're good. All right. At the top here, we got Bijan, Jahmyr Gibbs. This is my order right here, especially in full PPR. Bijan, Gibbs. We're going to be going, like I said, for those who are new watching, going over all the running back rankings. I'm literally going to – I have the live expert feed right here, so I'm just going to go over the top 45 rankings. Shout out TikTok. What's good? What's good, y'all? Tanner, what's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Bijan, Jahmyr Gibbs. I think this is the 1-2. You can interchange both of these guys. Both of them have new backup running backs in Isaiah Pacheco and Brian Robinson. Not really worried about either of these two. I've talked about it in the past. My biggest issue with these two is just making sure they stay healthy. That's the big thing with any running back, is that they got to stay healthy throughout the year. Bijan has been super durable in his career. We haven't seen anything out of Jahmyr Gibbs as well. I know it's going to be a heavy workload for both. That is my main concern with who I think finishes 1-2. Both of them have 25-point potential. Pete, what's good, bro? What's good? Pete Stacks, what's popping, bro? My boy Provide, I got to get you on here soon, brother. Got to get you on here soon, man. But the next tier, right? So for me, I have these two, and then it's a tier. So I'm going to add a tier right here below Jahmyr Gibbs, okay? So for me, it's after Jahmyr Gibbs. So I know a lot of people like Christian McCaffrey in this tier. Did that move here? Let's move that here. Let's see if we can do that. Move here. Let's do that now, okay? So that's my tier one. Obviously, I think that's a lot of people's tier ones is Bijan, Jahmyr Gibbs, which is how it should be. The next player, Christian McCaffrey, also is very close to this tier. I don't have him yet in this tier, okay? I think the injury concerns are valid. The workload concerns are valid, but he's not quite there with those two because they're younger in their prime. Obviously, they got a lot of ceiling. So that's the way to go with those guys, all right? Christian McCaffrey is here. Jonathan Taylor is also here. And I think if this was like a weekly best ball competition, or if this was a weekly daily lineup, I might take Taylor over McCaffrey because we know he has those big games. But when it comes to PPR, we're talking about a guy who had 100 catches last year, would have been a top 12 receiver in fantasy when it comes to Christian McCaffrey. In PPR, I know these are half-point PPR, but in PPR, we're talking about catches. I got to put McCaffrey a little ahead of Jonathan Taylor, even though I'm not worried at all about Jonathan Taylor, Daniel Jones, etc. I'm not worried about that. All right. I know a lot of people worry about Daniel Jones coming off the ACL. This is going to help Daniel Jones. This is going to help him get into the ground game. And I think what we saw last year with Jonathan Taylor was a hell of the end of the schedule. Honestly, he had a ton of tough defenses that he had to go against without his quarterback, starting Riley Leonard. This is a player I'm not concerned at all about. Now, this next section here, this is where I start to differ from rankings. I know a lot of people like James Cook here, and obviously James Cook is a great player to have there, right? We know he's in a safe offense, and I know a lot of people were, obviously taking James Cook a little bit more in the second round. You have to take James Cook now in the first round. And I don't know that I'm ready to do that, especially over some of the other players that are there, right? So when it comes to James Cook, I'm actually going to move him down a little bit, and I'm going to create a separate tier after Jonathan Taylor. Okay? Did that work or no? No, we need to move this, James Cook. Okay? So I think these two are in a tier by themselves. I think James Cook is in a tier by himself. I think this is the next tier, the start of the next tier. When it comes to this bunch, we got James Cook, Genty, Devon Achane, Chase Brown, Saquon Barkley, Marion Hampton, Derrick Henry, Kenneth Walker. I believe this is a very difficult tier, but I'm going to move it here for now until we have this conversation, okay? We're about to have a conversation about these guys. God damn. Live editing my expert rankings. If you guys want, hit a follow button. Also hit the like button on the stream, man. We here. All right, we here. And I said right above Kyron. Right above Kyron. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Try to keep it about. I'm gonna just go through these rankings. I'm gonna answer questions. Like in the meantime, keep the comments coming, man. I'm gonna get to them in a second. This next tier, right? We have to do like this. Boom, boom, and that's why I'm messing it up. Boom. And boom. There we go. Kyron, that's where I want it. Boom. There we go. This next tier is really interesting, right? Because I think there's a lot of floor plays. There's some upside. And I also think that there's some big question marks here, right? We start with James Cook. I think this is the safest. If we're talking just safe, purely safe, and I want to take him first round, this is where I consider him the safest, right? We know they'll use him in the red zone. He's involved in the passing game. My concern here is they got DJ Moore now. And when you bring in another receiver, another person to lean on in the offense, I do see Josh Allen kind of reverting back to more of the pass-happy Josh Allen, somebody who's going to see a lot more volume. Obviously, new coach involved. He knows the system. This is going to be an uptick, I think, in passing volume for Josh Allen, which in turn, I think they'll need to lean a little bit less on the ground game. Also, I think this would be a really good spot if I wasn't so excited about Ashton Genty. Why did I move him into the next tier? I didn't want to do that. Let's do that right there. Ashton Genty. Now, last year, I told y'all, I wasn't super excited about Ashton Genty, and it is what it is. I wasn't excited about him as a rookie going where he was. Now, we're talking, I saw one of the comments came in and says, why is everyone high on Genty? You're talking about a new offensive coordinator, your new coach, in Clint Kubiak. We just saw what he did in Seattle with that offense. It will go. You talk about weapons, right? You have Brock Bowers and Genty. That's really the weapons on his team. The receivers, when it comes to receivers, Jalen Naylor, Trey Tucker, and then maybe Jack Bech if they don't bring somebody else in. That's it. And so when you talk about where's the offense going to go, the backup running back is Mike Washington, 6th-round rookie, right? Which is good. It's good for Genty to have a backup, but that means, hey, we're going to be leaning on you a lot. And in Seattle, you had 2 running backs. Well, Clint Kubiak was also in New Orleans. You talk about Alvin Kamara. He was also in San Francisco. When you talk about Christian McCaffrey, I think what everybody expected Ashton Jeanty to be last year, we're talking about that this year. And if you can get him in the second round, I think it's a great opportunity to get an elite RB1 with upside, potentially to be in this group up here. Ashton Jeanty could be in this group right here. I think that's a big ask. But with the offense, with the way they're going to lean on him, they'll be down in games, so they'll need to use him in the passing game. I think Ashton Jeanty has potential for 50 to 75 catches. And if he gets closer to the 75 catches, now we're talking about the back that's in this range. So Ashton Jeanty is going to be up there. Next up, I actually like one more running back ahead of James Cook. Saquon Barkley. We forgot about Saquon, didn't we? We forgot about Saquon. And it's easy, right? Easy to forget about him. He wasn't as good last year. The offense wasn't as good last year. But what happens when you lose a player like A.J. Brown? What happens when you bring in a new offensive coordinator whose goal is to get him a little bit more between the tackles, where Saquon Barkley's had a lot of success, right? I think they were trying to get him more involved as a receiver last year. But this year, I believe Saquon is going to get back closer to the Saquon that we've known this entire time. The one that's jumping backwards over people. The one that's leading the league damn near in rushing, right? In total yardage, scrimmage yards. That's a great way for Saquon to be. Hey, yo, who's spamming the chat? Damn, my boy. Dang. We got to mute you for a quick second, bro. Got to mute you for a quick second. I'll get to your comment. But you know what I'm saying? Chill, bro. Chill. I love that the comment coming in, but you ain't got to spam it, bro. You ain't got to spam it. But when it comes to Saquon Barkley, I think we get closer to the guy that's top 3 than we do a guy that's outside of the top 5 running backs. So I love Saquon Barkley this year, especially because they were trying to force a lot. You know what I'm saying? The whole A.J. Brown thing. We saw Dallas Goedert have 11 touchdowns last year. Teams are going to adjust to that, right? Who they use in the red zone? Obviously, they're going to be using Dallas Goedert. They're going to be using Saquon Barkley. But, like, you got some smaller receivers now in Philly, right? You got Devontae Smith. You got Mekhi Lemons, not the biggest guy. So this is not the same, hey, we got a beast on the outside in A.J. Brown. You got Saquon. You got the tuck, right? The tush push. And then you got Dallas Goedert. Those are the 3 red zone weapons. And I think we see them get back to Saquon Barkley a little bit more. Plus, he didn't finish the season last year, right? Tank Bigsby came in. He got a little banged up. So we good, right? Saquon Barkley here, then James Cook. How y'all like the list so far? How y'all like the list? You all good, Ultra Muffin. I see you, bro. I see you. Should I keep JT or Achane? I'm going JT all the way. Top spot Spock's picking at 14, man. I kind of like the middle of the draft this year, just to be honest with you. 10 team, keep Jonathan Taylor. Yes, keep Jonathan Taylor. I like it. Ocho, I answer your question, bro. Got you, all right? JT's good. Keep the questions coming in. Just don't spam them. Saquon's going to eat this year. Justin Nelson says Saquon's going to eat this year. Yeah, I agree. Saquon is going to eat. Saquon is going to eat. I think you could get him in the second round. He's probably going top of the second round. Bijan number 1. You can see my rankings right here. My rankings are literally, so I'm up right now to number 7. Top 4 picks have the biggest advantage in redraft. I don't think so, because a lot of these guys are going now in the middle of the second round. If you can stack Saquon and Ashton Jeanty or McCaffrey and like some of these other guys we're talking about here, I actually think the back end of the first round is where it's at this year. If you can get McCaffrey, with Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs upside, if you can get that kind of upside with McCaffrey, like I think that's you know what I'm saying? Like with another one of these running backs, I think that's amazing, right? Because then you start talking about receiver. Just for now, we'll talk about receiver real quick. When it comes to receiver, you're getting like T. Higgins or Devontae Smith, or you're starting to like get those questions. Chris Olave. You're not getting the studs after like Drake London, A.J. Brown, Nico Collins. After that, it falls off a cliff. So for me, if you can get some of these guys at the top end, you're having to take like an elite tight end. If you go heavy, in my opinion, you have to take an elite tight end. If you get Bijan Gibbs, you have to. Where would you draft Jeremiah Love? I'll talk about that here in a second. Should I keep Olave in the 6th or Kraft in the 11th? Give me Olave. Missy Twin Keaton was good, man. I'm going over running backs like you asked for, my dog. So appreciate you, homie. We back. I'm back in the States. Yes, I am back in the States. I've talked about my trip a little bit. I might just do like a short little clip about my trip too. But trip was amazing, bro. Trip was amazing. And I'm back in the States. I'm in St. Louis. I prefer the first 3 picks or last 2. Where's your spot? I kind of like the middle of the draft, just to be honest with y'all. I like the middle of the draft. I like being able to kind of see how the board is playing out because there's a lot of players who fall currently right now. Maybe once we get closer to the actual draft, things will change. But right now in July, before training camp, I really like the middle of the draft. I feel like I'm getting a lot of good steals. So let's have that question or come August, right? And if you're drafting right now, I got to go through this. If you're drafting for your redraft league right now, y'all need to talk to the commissioner, bro. Scrap the draft. Scrap the draft. Do not draft until mid-August. Why are we doing this to ourselves? If you're going to draft, redraft, make sure it's in August. Make sure it's after some games have been played. Some injuries have happened. Training camp has happened. Why are we drafting before training camp starts? It makes no sense. To me, if you're going to draft and redraft, make sure it's in August, middle of August, preferably after 2 or 3 preseason games been played, man. Y'all drafted before training camp. Shame on you. Let's finish out this tier. All right, let's finish out this tier. I'm going to get some more questions, guys. Just a minute. Make sure y'all hit the follow button, man. If you're here for the first time, don't make it the last time. Hit the follow button, like button, man. Like up the stream, bro. I ain't been on, you know what I'm saying? I ain't had 100 likes in a long time, bro, on YouTube. I ain't had 10K likes on TikTok in a long time, man. It's been a while. Get me back up to where I'm supposed to be at, man. I'm going to get y'all the information y'all need either way. Either way, we good. You already know. All right, next up, after James Cook, I think there's some very questionable names here. You got Devon Achane, Chase Brown, Omarion Hampton, Derrick Henry, Kenneth Walker. And I think in full PPR, right, the one I'd want the most is I'm going for the upside play in Omarion Hampton. We got a new offensive coordinator. Mike McDaniel is there. Their plan is to run the football, right? Run the football. That's their plan. Offensive line, getting healthy, right? And when you talk about a guy in Jim Harbaugh, that's the staple of his offenses is heavy carries. You bring in a Keaton Mitchell, a guy to kind of take some work off. You already have Kamani Vidal, who showed last year in spurts. He's good. But Omarion Hampton played well at times last year. He just got banged up. And it's easy to forget what kind of talent they brought him in to be and how excited the fantasy community was about him last year. He is my number 8 running back. And to be honest with y'all, I'm ranking him here just because James Cook is much safer, right? There's a chance that Hampton could be bad. And so I think this year specifically, I'm trying to also put that into my rankings, right? And talk about that. The pluses and the negatives. He was injured last year. He has to prove he belongs to NFL level. But I also think this is a player that I would want to have between the trenches at the goal line. They're going to use him. There's not another big back behind him. Omarion Hampton's a guy, but I got to rank him after Cook for that reason. Next up. If I'm going to take somebody, I'm going to take the king. 1,900 yards last year, top 5 running back last year. Why do we continue to fade him? Because of age. Because of age. Derrick Henry is going to be Derrick Henry, and I know it comes in spurts sometimes, right? Sometimes it comes in big touchdown games, sometimes it doesn't. But with Derrick Henry, the one thing that you know is you're going to get a very strong season if he stays healthy, which for the most part, he's been a pretty healthy guy his entire career. He had the season where he had 1,000 yards and he got hurt in like game 8. He would have ran for 2,000 that year. So I think Derrick Henry is a player that I would definitely love to have him on roster in the middle of the second round. And you pair that with a McCaffrey, you pair that with, a CeeDee Lamb, and you can have Derrick Henry there too. So I think no matter what, you're getting that top 5 weekly upside out of Derrick Henry. We know he has the monster games, the 150 with 3 TDs. That's not going nowhere, even with a new coordinator there in Baltimore and a new offense. Next up, I like Devon Achane. I liked him a lot more last year. There's a different offense this year. I know everybody's the name Devon Achane, the speed is there, but I got to move him down here. I got to move him down here. Malik Willis is the quarterback now, and so that's a big wild card, right? You talk about like Derrick Henry's is he doesn't get involved in the passing game. Omarion Hampton is, what does he look like after his first year? Chase Brown, who I'll talk about in a second, is he more of the first half Chase Brown or is he the second half Chase Brown, right? And then Devon Achane is like, this is a huge wild card. What is this offense coming from Green Bay? What is this thing going to look like, right? It's not going to look like Mike McDaniel's offense. Is he going to be as involved as a receiver? Can he stay healthy? He's already banged up and dealing with injury right now, right? So I think we got to move Devon Achane down until we see what Malik Willis looks like as a quarterback. It looked the part last year. But how does it look when teams have footage on him? They got to scout him as the QB1 this year. When they're playing from behind, if Devon Achane gets banged up again, is he playing through it? Like, there's a lot of question marks I have about Achane in general. I'm staying away at this range. I think if after these running backs, if he falls to you in the draft, cool. But right now, I'm 5 spots down at the running back position, according based on these experts. I'm 5 spots lower. Devon Achane, a guy I was really high on last year, I'm putting him down a little bit this year, unfortunately. I still like the player. I think he's a good player and has upside, but you have to be cautious at the back end of that second round. I think there's better choices. I am going to put Chase Brown up here, who is a part of this Bengals offense. It's Ja'Marr Chase, T. Higgins, Chase Brown. And we saw that last year. We saw the upside last year when it came to that second half. He had an incredible second half of the year. Now, when you talk about Chase Brown, this is a guy that does have the same weekly potential as an Ashton Jeanty. He has the same potential as a Saquon Barkley. The problem with him is he really talented, or is it the system? Does it rely when Joe Burrow's there? Joe Burrow's been in and out, health-wise. Ja'Marr Chase earlier was getting banged up. T. Higgins is also always banged up. So this offense in general doesn't always look right. Because if this offense was always there, Joe Burrow, we knew what to expect every week. Chase, T. Higgins, we knew these 3 guys were on the field and the offense was moving on a weekly basis. I don't think it would be a question. I'd have Chase Brown up here above Amari and Hampton. I would have Chase Brown here. But the problem is we don't always know that with this Cincinnati offense. So a full season of this Cincinnati offense, I'm going to be wrong about Chase Brown. He's going to be much higher. But if we get the Cincinnati offense we've been getting over the last few years, which is sporadic injuries, Chase Brown is probably going to be somewhere in this range when it's all said and done. I'm not saying he can't have top 5 weeks, and I think that's why people love Chase Brown. They like taking him a little bit early. I'm not saying that can't be the case, right? But what I'm saying is the risk is more so with the offense. It's with the other players. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing to take Chase Brown. I think it's a bad thing to take him over some of these other backs. And then Kenneth Walker, probably the more questionable name. Like, I have him, it's a spot higher, but I would rather have him over Achane. The problem with Kenneth Walker is he hasn't put together a full season. I would say that's the biggest issue with him. You go and put together a very strong postseason. You get paid, which is great. I want to see Kenneth Walker get paid, right? I love that. And now you go to a prolific offense with one of the best quarterbacks in the league, an explosive offense. You get Eric Bieniemy back. Eric Bieniemy, for those who don't remember, loves to run with 2 backs. Sometimes the backup ends up being the guy that we end up loving in the second half. We're always drafting, the backup. Oh, when's he going to break out? It's like sometimes that happens with him, right? Kenneth Walker expected to take the majority of the workload, which is fine. But can he stay healthy throughout the season is the big question mark. And I think with Walker, you also have to remember they have red zone guys, right? Rashee Rice, early drafted in fantasy for a reason. He's going to get yardage. He's going to get touchdowns. Travis Kelce, going to get red zone looks. You got Kenneth Walker. You have Justin Fields now, who the team might use in different situations, right? I know that sounds weird. I know it sounds weird, but there could be a tush push scenario with Justin Fields. There could be some scrambling in the reds. Like, just trust me. I think Bieniemy is going to get creative with Justin Fields. You don't bring him in there for no reason, right? But with Kenneth Walker, if he can't touch the ball 25 times a game, I don't think he's going to help us in this top 10 category. And I think that's the biggest issue I had. If I knew he could stay healthy and I knew he could tote the rock 20 to 25 times each game, I would take Kenneth Walker there. For that reason, I'm kind of out on Kenneth Walker at cost. Now, down here, after the top 10 go, now I'm interested. But for now, I'm out on Kenneth Walker at top 10 ADP. I've seen him start to creep up here in this range, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. He's always needed a second back. If anything, it wouldn't be surprising to see Amari DiMercado get more of the passing game work, and they leave Kenneth Walker strictly to like the carries. And that's kind of what I was alluding to with the back, right? With the second back in this offense. Isaiah Pacheco had a year where he looked solid, didn't necessarily pan out. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had a couple games where he looked solid, didn't necessarily pan out. When's the last time we really seen a Chiefs running back look the part for an entire season? Somebody tell me in the comments. When's the last time we've had a very strong KC running back? Somebody tell me. Jamal Charles, is that really it? Damn. and Kenneth Walker's going this high, even though they paid him, that's fine. Kareem Hunt was the backup for a while, right? And it's Kareem Hunt. He was kind of like, hey, third round running back. Let's use it. He was a bigger back. Hunt. It's been a long time. So I know Kenneth Walker, new situation. It's the last thing we saw. I have question marks about Kenneth Walker. I don't mind him here, but he's never finished as the top 15 back in fantasy. Put it that way. So that's my top 12 right there. I think they're all RB1s. You go Bijan, Jahmyr Gibbs, clear tier. Got Christian McCaffrey, Taylor, good upside weekly, especially weekly for Taylor. Then Genty's kind of that next tier question mark of question mark running backs. And I think this right here is a very interesting range. Interesting range. How y'all like the top 12? 12, H-Hand at 12 is absurd. Why? Bijan or Gibbs? I got Bijan. You see the list right here. Fire Hat, appreciate you, my dog. Nashman was good, bro. Yeah, Andy Reid days. It's been crazy. Kareem Hunt's probably as crazy as Kareem Hunt was like the last one. Thoughts on Bucky Irving this year? I'll get to him in a minute. Kane, I'm going to get the rock 20 times. If he gets 20 carries a game, he's not staying healthy. Yeah, Jamal Charles being the last one that we could think of with like a crazy season is wild for the Chiefs, man. It's wild. I think Walker has huge upside in PPR because of checkdowns. Maybe, but their checkdowns are really to Rashee Rice. They're going to be taking chances downfield with Tyquan Thornton and with Xavier Worthy. Like, you got DeMercado in the checkdown game as well. The team is excited about him. Everybody's on Emmett Johnson, who the team took in the 5th, 6th round. I can't remember exactly what round they took him. I think it was the 5th or 6th round. Everybody's excited about them, but, like, they like DeMercado as their number 2. For real. Like, that's just what they like. And when you talk about bringing Bieniemy back, I think they're just going to ride the hot hand at times, especially if they need to move on offense. I don't know that Kenneth Walker is just going to be in on every drive. I think they'll take shifts. I hate to say it. I'm not trying to be down on Kenneth Walker. I just don't think he has the potential to be like this top 10 running back like everybody else says. Walker durability. I just went, hey, yo, I ain't gonna lie. You said down on Walker because of durability, CKS. I just named a bunch of reasons I was down on Walker. A bunch of reasons. All right. How we living, y'all? Y'all hit the like button, man. Hit the like button for me, man. It's been a while since I hit 10K on TikTok. Been a while since I hit 100 likes on YouTube, man. But we going to run this shit up, man. Y'all agree with the ranking so far? How do you get this list? It'll come in the draft guide later. It'll be ever evolving. I'm just doing my introductory rankings for everybody that I've had a time. You had bad takes last season. I have bad takes every season, my boy. I have great takes as well. Go back and review the footage. I got great takes as well. So you can focus on a negative or you can focus on a positive. I hit over 50%. What you expect me to do, bro? I can't hit on everybody. If y'all know, in fantasy, you literally can't hit on everything. So I'll be trying though, bro. I put out, and I would be honest. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Like, if you're here just because you want me to hit 100%, I probably ain't the right dude for you, right? Because I provide a lot more than just the rankings. The rankings is just the start of the season. That's it. That gets you into the season. You have to be able to go through free agency. You got to be able to waivers. You got to know how to trade. You got to know how to set your lineup. You got to have confidence in your lineup. And you got to have the mindset to know how to adjust. That's what we do here. I'm not trying to win the draft, bro. I'm trying to win a damn championship. And if you're trying to win a championship, follow. If you're trying to win your draft, I'm probably not the right person to follow. Just dead ass. Dead ass. We win a lot here. You can ask the comments. Ask the comment section. We win a lot on this page. So if I missed on the pick, sorry, bro. It's going to happen. There's 200 players that get drafted. My bad, bro. But I'll hit on 150 of them. I'll hit on 150 of them. You can ask the comment section. Swear on everything. Let's get to the next tier. Appreciate the love, y'all. Here's the top 11, top 12. Last time I'm going to do it, and then I'll scroll back down. Remember, this is July rankings. So take it with a grain of salt. A lot is going to happen, all right? July rankings. Next tier, right? We got Kyren Williams. I would love to put Kyren Williams in this tier, but I'm not going to, right? I think Kyren belongs here, and there's a lot of concern with, like, Blake Corum. Blake Corum is good, right? Blake Corum is a good player, but Kyren is a special player, and he's been a special player in this league for a long time. I don't really see his role changing. Nothing's changed with this Rams team. He's always been involved. I think the Blake Corum thing is just going a little too far. People think it's going to be 50-50. I don't see that. I don't see that at all. Kyren's here. Now, I'm going to move Breece Hall ahead of Kyren. Breece Hall I keep doing this wrong, man. I keep doing this wrong. I'll move Breece Hall ahead of Kyren, though. I think Breece Hall is still an elite guy, and I would love if I knew Geno was going to be the quarterback all season long and his offense was going to look good, and I knew they could move the football and not just be down in every game, I probably would put Breece in this tier. Straight up. I would put Breece in this tier. I see there's some question marks about this Jets offense. If Aaron Glenn stays the coach all season long, there's just too many question marks for me to have Breece in this tier. He kind of reminds me of Achane, and that's why they're here. But there's just a little bit more stability foundation-wise for Devon Achane. Breece is right there. Next up, Jeremiah Love is a very intriguing pick because everything says that Jeremiah Love is going to be a top 12 running back when the season's over. Rookie running backs taken first round, finish top 12. It's just the consensus thing to say. But I'm a little bit more skeptical on him. I like Kyren slightly more for the floor than I do Love here. I'm not saying that Love can't have a super, what happened? You can't go dark one. Be all right, bro. I can't say that Jeremiah Love won't have an incredible second half. I won't say that, right? But I think early on, when you have a guy in James Conner, right, the team likes you, just signed a guy in Tyler Algier. I don't know that they give the full thing to Jeremiah Love to start the season. Second half of the year, I could be like, damn, I missed on him. And, he finishes top 5. But when you play redraft, you're trying to win a championship. I get you want to have some ammo in the second half. One of the more important things is to get there. One of the more important things is to get to the championship. It's to get to the playoffs. I think Love, we don't know when that button's going to be pushed. He could have, I think Jeremiah Love could have an incredible fantasy playoffs. I do. But when I think about it overall and where I'd want to draft him, give me Kyren right now just in case something happens with Love. The same risk apply, right? Injuries apply, slow season, kind of like Amarian Hampton. Even though he's a better talent than Amarian Hampton, it's like that. Those risks apply when it comes to rookies. So for me, I like Jeremiah Love. I'm going to keep him down here, though. I'm going to keep him right here, right below Kyren Williams. The great thing about this right here, specifically Jeremiah Love versus Kyren Williams, is that you can get Kyren Williams way after Jeremiah Love. Jeremiah Love's going to go at the back end of the second, top of the third. For the reasons I told you earlier, top 12 running backs, rookie first rounders, top 12. We know what it sounds like, right? But you can get Kyren almost, half round to a round later in drafts, and I think he's a much better value. So if you want upside, I'm fine with Jeremiah Love at the top of the third if you can get some good value on him, but I'm not reaching for Jeremiah Love at this point, especially new offense. You got Marv, you got Trey McBride already there, some established names. We don't know what the quarterback scenario is going to look like. Supposed to be Jacoby Brissett, could be Carson Beck, or even why can't I think of his name right now? It dropped my Gardner Minshew. So it could be one of those guys starting. We just don't know. I'm assuming it's going to be Jacoby Brissett. That's why he's ranked here. If not, I'll move him actually down. So I think it's going to be a three-headed monster. Probably ugly to start the year. Jeremiah Love finishes strong. I just don't know what week it is. He's down here. And then next up, the last two that enter this tier. Let me add a tier. I don't know where that went. The last two in this tier. Josh Jacobs, Javonte Williams for me. Josh Jacobs, Javonte Williams. And I'm going to move Javonte right above Josh Jacobs. I like Josh Jacobs a lot. And I think he's a safe option. But I can assume that this Dallas offense is going to look the part. And Javonte was a top 12 guy last year. I think Javonte is probably one of the more value picks you can get at running back. If you miss out on like the big 15 running backs, coming down here and getting Javonte Williams as your RB2 is not a bad move. The one person I took out of here that some people probably have in this tier would be like Travis Etienne. But Kamara just re-signed. This is going to be a dual backfield. I hope everybody knows that. And Etienne had a great season last year, but it's not like he went to a better situation. This is not a better situation than playing with Trevor, with Liam Cohen. This isn't. And guys, remember, we were getting Travis Etienne outside of the top 25 running backs last year. That's why it was good. That's why. Now you're taking him. You probably got to take a middle or third. This is a little bit different. Okay? So just know you're taking ETN at last year's cost. You're not getting him at the 2 years previous cost. Kamara's going to be involved. He's a good enough running back. This is going to be a dual backfield. I'd be careful about ETN. He don't really provide the upside that these guys do to finish top 12. He's more like top 15 upside. Top 15 upside in my opinion. Okay? And remember, the other thing about Travis Etienne, excuse me, I've been saying his name, Travis Achane. Travis Achane, right? I don't know. I'm probably going to mix between Achane and Etienne. Sorry, bro. I know, love you, dog, but like, I'm probably going to mix up your name every now and then. But Travis Achane, I'll call him the name he's called, Travis Achane. The thing is, he has weekly upside. But what we forget is early in his career, the first 3-4 years, what was he? He was injury prone. He was injury prone. And I think we could see Kamara, who's going RB way the hell down here. I don't even know where he's going right now. Alvin Kamara is going RB 51. RB 51. Alvin Kamara is going RB 51 right now. For me, I think this is more of a dual backfield 60-40 type split than it is like a 75-25 or 70-30. I think this is like 60-40, 55-45. All right? All right? That's where I'm at on them. Next, we're going to go like this. I'm going to piss. Are y'all ready to be pissed off? Are y'all ready to be pissed off? I'm going to do that with Cam Scatterbo. I'm going to do that with Cam Scatterbo. How do y'all feel about that? I'm going to do that with Cam Scatterbo. He don't belong in this tier. He's not with Etienne. He's not with Judkins. He's not with Bucky. He's not with Swift. He's not with Henderson. Maybe I'll start to think about him after I'll talk about these picks. Maybe. Why is Cam Scatterbo so high? Somebody tell me. Coming off of a major knee injury, you still got Tyrone Tracy in the backfield. Like, it's not like he's a super efficient runner. Guy's going to average under 4 yards a carry. He's a plotter. Damian Pierce type plotter. You guys understand that, right? This isn't, I'm going to rush for 150 yards a game. This is, I need 25 carries in order to produce high-end RB2 numbers. His knee is cooked. Now, it's going to take him 6 to 8 weeks just to be normal. And I mean, let's be honest, Cam Scatterbo, I don't think he's going to kind of like, take care of his injury. He's not one to just like, oh, let me be cautious. He's going to play full speed, which is fine. It's good to be like, I'm fully healthy, but like there is zero chance I'm rostering Cam Scatterbo on any team I have at this cost. Any team I have. None. He's not going to catch the football 50 times this year. He's not scoring 10 plus touchdowns. I don't get it. I don't get the love for Cam Scatterbo. Now, maybe he stays healthy all year and shocks me. That's fine. I'll take the risk. If Cam Scatterbo outplays this, I think I'd rather have 25 running backs outside of Cam Scatterbo. Genuinely. There's 25 others. If he finishes top 15, that's a miss I will take. But the risk is so high with Cam Scatterbo. Brand new offense. We got to see what he looks like under Harbaugh. There's a chance like the team could bring in another running back if he's not ready to go. He's expected to be on training camp. Will he be? He's expected to be week 1 ready. Is he? Does he deal with any setbacks? Is he overcompensating for something right now? You're not going to know that until you see him on the field. Week 1, if you got Scatterbo and you're hoping for 25 carries for 80 yards and a touchdown, go right ahead. In PPR leagues, even half-point PPR leagues, I'm out. He's doing backflips. Dude's doing he doesn't care about his knee. He's doing backflips and missing right now, falling. I love to see it with him. The athleticism is there still. I think he'll be okay player. He's just going too high. All right. Quinshon Judkins, I like him up here, but I like 3 running backs ahead of Quinshon Judkins. I think DeAndre Swift is one of the more underrated values here. I don't know why. Like, he had a really strong finish. The offense looked a lot better. Caleb's going to be another year older. He's going to be another year in the system. DeAndre Swift was going a lot higher last year. This year, I have a lot more confidence in DeAndre Swift at the value at RB20. I think he's going to be a good value there. Next, I also have TreVeyon Henderson up here. for a guy that was going third round last year, remember TikTok? Remember YouTube? Y'all pushed him up into the third round, and I told y'all, like, hey, chill with TreVeyon Henderson. I told y'all that last year, right? He's going outside of like the top 5 rounds now. Now is the time that we go get TreVeyon Henderson because the upside's there. Yes, it will still be a split backfield, 1,000%. Ramondre Stevenson is still going to be involved. Probably will still be the starter, right? But TreVeyon is going to be much more involved. Now he's had a year to be in the system, year to gain the trust of this coaching staff. The big plays will be there and a lot earlier than they were last year. He had to figure out, remember, he was benched because of pass pro. Ramondre, I don't think he carries the same he don't afford the same lenience that he had last year. He doesn't. If he fumbles this year, I think Stevenson is going to be given that opportunity a lot earlier. So I think with this big play ability, and if TreVeyon Henderson hits and somehow becomes a starter, we're not talking about him in this area anymore. Now we're talking about him up here. If TreVeyon Henderson at any point in the season gets a starting gig, you won. You won on the value at this spot. He carries way more upside than most of the guys in this range. So I get it if he burned you last year, you took him a little early. Maybe you don't want to see him in the split again this year. I think this actually helps him. He's not a guy that we want taking 25 touches a game. We want TreVeyon Henderson with 15 to 20 touches. Why? Because he provides the big playability. Because 3 to 5 of those are going to be in the passing game, which we want. I want Ramondre taking 15 carries a game. I want Ramondre getting some goal line work to keep TreVeyon fresh. I literally want that. I think here at the value, you're getting premium upside in case Ramondre falters or gets injured. I think you're carrying premium upside here. I also think Quinshon Judkins is in a really nice spot here. He reminds me so much like a Josh Jacobs when I talk about just consistent value across the board. I think he has upside to be better than like a Josh Jacobs value wise, but he will be, with the full season, he's 1,000 yards. The full season, he's 8 to 10 touchdowns. With the full season, he's going to be somewhere around 40 to 50 catches. Like, I like that when it comes to Quinshon Judkins. I don't know that he has top 10-ish, upside. I don't think he has the same upside as some of the guys going ahead of him, right? I do think the offense is going to be bad. So how much rushing are we getting out of him, and is it going to be more receiving? There's a few question marks that I have with Judkins, but I like Judkins last year. I like him this year. So give me Quinshon right here. And then this is a hard range for me personally because I think Bucky is going too low, but I also don't see a reason to put him above anybody else. I think we're overreacting to the Kenny Gainwell, to Sean Tucker, but also he came into this offseason banged up. And we also have the question of if this is really going to be a 1A, 1B. New changes in this offense. They're saying Kenny Gainwell is literally going to be a 1B in this. And a lot of times they say that. There's coaching staffs that say that. But for me, I kind of believe it. So I'm not moving him above anybody. The one running back I'm going to move above him is Bashal Tutin. Bashal Tutin. How do you guys feel about Bashal Tutin? Let me know in the comments. How y'all feel about Bashal Tutin? How do you guys feel? An intriguing pick, but this a lot of times, these are the picks that a lot of times end up being value picks for us. The ones with question marks, the ones that are like, I haven't seen him be a full-time running back before. Is he going to be good? Tutin is the biggest question mark I would say in this area, the biggest. But I also think if Liam Cohen has his way, he's going to be more of like a Breece type asset. Remember how excited the community was about Bashal, his analytics, everything's, it was through the roof, right? And he came in and he underperformed last year as a backup to ETN, which is fine. You're supposed to as a rookie. You got to learn the game. But when you have a coaching staff that believes in you, that says, no, you're our guy. We're going to let ETN walk. We're going to bring in Chris Rodriguez, who's a plotter, behind you. You're going to get the passing game work. You're going to be our starter. You're going to have a hell of a year. This offense already is going to go. You saw last year. Trevor, I've talked about it on this page. Trevor's going to have a crazy year. No doubt in my mind. Trevor's going to have a crazy year. No doubt in my mind. So You get Trevor with a crazy year, right? You have now the offense is moving. You already bring it. Brian Thomas will be better. Jacoby Myers in there. Parker Washington. The community loves him. Brenton Strange on a contract. Liam Cohen will make offenses go. I love Bashal Tutin at the value right here. It's tough because he goes at a weird range. It's like the last of the good receivers. He goes right around in underdog drafts right now. He goes right around Brian Thomas, goes right around Marv Harrison, goes right around like Jordan Tyson. So you got to kind of take DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin, Mike Evans. Like there's a weird range of like these are the last good receivers, and Bashal Tutin is kind of like, oh, these are the last of the startable running backs. It's kind of a weird place that he goes. But I think he has the value to be like in this tier, potentially even like Chase Brownish. Like that's where I could see Bashal Tutin. Remember Bucky Irving, right? In the same offense, played really well. People loved him. Think about it. This is the same type of undervalued running back coming into a Liam Cohen situation. And remember, Liam Cohen from the Sean McVay tree, just so y'all know, like how this plays out, that's how it goes. And Liam Cohen is like offensive genius. There's a reason why he has this guy here. I think Bashal Tutin is a guy we will see climb draft boards probably around this range, in my opinion. All right. And then after Bucky Irving, I'm going to cut it off and answer some questions. All right. Not cut the stream off. I'm just cutting off this list, cutting off the tier. I think that's this tier right here. They all have similar upside to me. Bucky is like the most questionable one that I have in here. But given what he's done in the past, I think he is in this same range, this same realm. All right. Chat, how y'all living, man? How we looking? You guys like the list so far? Here it is top to bottom, as bottom as I can get right now. Mama, how you doing? Said, that's right. That's how you got to adjust past the draft. Exactly. The draft is just one piece. The draft is just one piece of the puzzle. There's so much more when it comes to fantasy. So, Jahan, you back, my guy? Hope you're doing well. My new father. Congratulations to you, Michael Price. Hey, lean on your work even more. We going to get some chips for sure. Congratulations, though. Hey, fatherhood, man, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, man. You'll get some of the best experiences of your life, the best experiences of your life being a father, man. So congratulations to you and good luck to you and your family, man. Breakout potential. Yeah, I think Tutin has a lot of breakout potential. Appreciate you. Slick, appreciate you, homie. Will this be accessible once it's done? Not this one. I'm going to have my rankings up on Fantasy Pro at some point, just not today. So draft kit and stuff's going to come in August. My bad. I would love to get it to you guys a little earlier, but I am log jammed. A little slight announcement here before I get back into the picks. I actually was just at Champs. Anybody play Call of Duty? I was literally at Champs this entire weekend. And I'll be doing fantasy esports content too, just so y'all know. Fantasy esports. Y'all trying to do fantasy esports? Bruh, this shit is lit. Your boy we got some new shit coming. So big announcement, man. I joined the Player X team. We were a sponsor of fantasy, the Call of Duty champions, the championship. I was literally there on stage, got to see everything happen, saw FaZe win. So if y'all are gamers and like gaming content, esports content, follow the page, bro. It's going to be coming too. A lot of heat on the way for y'all, man. A lot of heat on the way. All right. I don't know if I'm doing a fantasy sports draft guide, but we going to definitely have a fantasy football draft guide coming soon. So a lot of good things coming to this page. Bear with me, y'all. I got a lot on my plate right now. Just moved out to Missouri, to St. Louis, Missouri, coming off of a year long in Europe. We got all kind of fantasy shit coming your way, man. I got a lot on the way. So chill, just ride along me on this journey, man. For the ones who've been here from the start, y'all about to see a major glow up over the next couple of years, man. Your boy I'm on a different trajectory than a lot of people, bro. Just know we in a good spot, man, and there's gonna be some exciting times along the way, man. Some exciting times. Any questions about the ranking so far? I've done all the way up to number 24. Go, appreciate you. How would you start the first 3 rounds? Pick 6 in a 10-man league. 10-man, I'm definitely getting 2 RBs in the top 5 rounds. Outside of that, if I can get McBride or Bowers in the 3rd, I would. If not, I'm taking receiver and running back. I might go Josh Allen in the 4th if he's there. Want to explain the Achane ranking? I did. Achane concerned about injuries, new offense, and if he's going to be as involved in the passing game without Mike McDaniel. Monty deserves to be in this tier. Why? We know he's kind of a plotter, older back, doesn't really pass catch. You're probably going to have Woody Marks in there. I don't think he deserves to be in there. I'll explain why in a second. No Najee Harris? Hell no, no Najee Harris. Najee Harris, man. How have you been? I've been great, bro. Been great. Been busy. Like I said, I spent the last 5 days. I was in Vegas over the weekend at Call of Duty Champs. So Kyle Monangai's efficiency has me off on Swift completely as price. I feel like he should go a round or 2 later. Probably would be without the RB inflation this year. His job is not a guarantee. I do think his job is a guarantee. Swift has performed. He's performed better than I thought he was last year. I thought he was just good. His best year came behind the Eagles offensive line. But last year, I think DeAndre Swift proved this is his offense until he burns out. So unless you're just planning on getting hurt, I don't really see a reason why DeAndre Swift wouldn't replicate what he did last year. Unless you just think Monangai's going to tear into his touches, I don't really see that. I think they work well together. Where's Hampton? Hampton right now is my number 8 running back. Number 8. Optic choke, they did. Did you see how that happened? Yo, did you see how that happened? He played the crowd. Everybody cheered, and in my team that was there, they're like, "Oh, he's about to play the crowd." And once the crowd went off, bro, that was crazy. That was crazy. He called it. They actually showed the behind the scenes of it, and he called it, man. That was crazy. That was crazy, insane. And this was actually my first weekend, like getting into Call of Duty and understanding all like the maps and how the tournament worked and everything. Brah, wild. Yeah, they choked in Call of Duty. Choked in Call of Duty. I'm gonna give out a beta code too. Anybody want a beta code? I'm gonna give out a beta code here soon. I don't know when, but I got a beta code to get Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. I got a beta code. So make sure y'all follow, man. Y'all gotta follow. Y'all gotta follow. You don't follow, you're not getting it. You don't like the stream, you're not getting it. I got shit. Bruh, I know y'all been missing me. I know y'all been missing me. man. I don't know if anybody else is doing shit like this. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if anybody else is doing shit like that. All right, I said I was gonna try to get through the top 45, so let me keep going before I get long-winded on some other shit. Next up, we got David Montgomery. Okay? I think this is a good pick here. And I've done a lot of best ball. I have like 0 David Montgomery shares. And it's because it seems like a play that's going to be, as long as Houston's good, he'll get some work. He don't remind me of like a Joe Mixon. He don't remind me of like somebody that's going to get both sides of it. He's going to get the red zone and passing game work. I think Woody Marks is going to be definitely taking some of this workload. Also, the offensive line still a work in progress, right? So I don't know if I really believe in David Montgomery in a lead role. Now, I've been low in the past when David Montgomery's had a lead role. I've been low on him in the past. So maybe that's just a personality thing. Like maybe I just don't really fuck with like David Montgomery in general. Not to say like he's not a great player, but like in fantasy, right? In fantasy, I don't really draft a lot of like David Montgomery. So to me, he belongs in this tier because I do think he provides a little bit more upside on a weekly basis than like Cam Scatterbo. I genuinely just believe that. I think he has more upside. And then we talk about Jadarian Price, right? Jadarian Price also offers a different kind of upside. That's that second half upside. That's that first round running back upside. And yes, he wasn't taken in the top 15, but I think Jadarian Price can be the guy. And if he gets the week 1 starting gig, I'll be putting him in this tier. If I know Jadarian Price is going to be RB1 to start the year, I'm putting him in this tier. I'm not worried about George, whatever his last name is, Holani. I'm not worried about Emmanuel Wilson. I think this team is invested in making Jadarian Price a guy. And I genuinely think I got him too low right now. I genuinely think I got him too low. He probably deserves to be up here. The rankings are going to change over time, but right now I'm going to keep him in this very questionable tier until we figure out what this thing looks like. So Jadarian Price, team invested in him. He's probably too low at 26. He's probably going to be a value at some point. And in Cam Scatterbo, I think this is where I'm comfortable taking him, like right around Jaylen Warren, Tony Pollard, guys that are, good running backs in questionable situations. That's what this tier is right here. Good running back, questionable situation. Good running back, questionable situation. Good running back, questionable situation. All of them can have their backups take more work. And I think that's where Scatterbo to me is. I don't see him full-time being some high volume guy all season long without suffering some kind of either setback, injury. Unfortunately, that's just my opinion, right? I'm not wishing nothing on him. That's my opinion. I just don't see that happening. So And if you think this should be higher, I see a couple of you guys, I have Scatterbo too low. I have him 8 positions lower than like the general consensus. Where do you think he should be at? And why? Tell me. Tell me why you think he should be there and why. So this is the end of that tier. I'm going to add one more tier down here. Hopefully that came down here. That didn't. Let's add a tier. Oh, it did add it. So tier 6, and I'm going to move it down to about here. Okay. These are running backs that I think could do well. These are RB2-ish type running backs to me for different reasons. Montgomery, we know the touchdowns are there. Tony Pollard, he's an RB2. Stevenson, he's an RB2. Chuba Hubbard, he's an RB2, right? You got Jonathan Brooks behind you. You got Tajay Spears behind you. For Ramondre, you got Travion Henderson behind you. Jalen Warren, you got Rico Dowdle waiting in the wings. Cam Scatterbo, you got the injury. Jadarian Price, are you the starter week 1? Can you handle NFL workload? Dave Montgomery, are you splitting work with Woody Marks? Offensive line issues. So for me, this tier right here is like the last startable. No questions asked, startable RB2 in 12-team leagues. This is the last. This is the last. Okay? I think down here, I'm not wanting to start Rico Dowdle, RJ Harvey, Anungai, JK. These are the backups. Actually, I think one more. There's one more running back down here I think is heavily, who can guess it? J-Hen, who can guess it? Somewhere between 30 and 50. I think there's a running back that is heavily mispriced. Who do you guys think I'm talking about? Who do y'all think I'm talking about? Who do y'all think I'm talking about? Heavily mispriced. Heavily. Mason, Brooks, or White, JCM, Bill, Jordan Mason, Kenny Gainwell, Rashad White, Tony Pollard, J.K. Dobbins, Tajay Spears, R.J. Harvey, Charbonnet, Woody, Kamara. Ooh, Kamara, I already talked about him. He's heavily mispriced. Brooks, Kamara. The one that I think is heavily mispriced, Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason. Every single chance I'm getting right now to take Jordan Mason, I am. Every single chance. Fantasy's Finest was good. Was good, my boy. Fantasy Dude was good. Hey, make sure y'all follow them. Fantasy Finest. Fantasy Dude was popping, y'all. How y'all been, man? Excellent. You did cook. Jordan Mason, significantly mispriced. In my opinion, I'm up here with him. I'm up there with Jordan Mason. He's not going there. You can get Jordan Mason after Aaron Jones, who I think is a very good player. You guys know, for anybody who's followed me for a long time, I value the shit out of Aaron Jones. I think Aaron Jones is a great player. But I also think this is a changing of the guard when it comes to Jordan Mason. I think Jordan Mason is going to be literally the guy. We're talking about Aaron Jones more as like a passing game guy. Maybe he gets the nominal start, right? But I think we see a heavy Jordan Mason involvement, and I don't think it's close. Actually, I'm probably going him or RJ Harvey too. Maybe even like over Rico Dowdle. Like, not in that range, though. That's too high. That's too high. Let's do like that. I really like Jordan Mason at the value. This on Underdog is like, I want to say it's like 8th or 9th range. Jordan Mason goes in like the 11th round. Value pick. Jordan Mason. Okay? The great part about it is that if you've already taken 2 backs, you can just double up and take Jordan Mason and Aaron Jones, and you know you're getting one of them. I like that situation too with Washington. You can get JCM and you can get Rashad White. I like Rashad White more than JCM as it's ranked right now. Okay? I like them both. But I think Jordan Mason is very mispriced. I think he's going to be an 8 to 10 touchdown guy. I think he's going to be very close to 1,000 yards if he doesn't crack it. I think he'll be very close, and he gets somewhat involved in the passing game. He can take the entire workload if Aaron Jones gets hurt, like he's always hurt. All right? Is there anybody that I didn't talk about in this tier that you guys want to know? Anybody in tier 6 that you want me to talk about before I get into the 7th tier? Anybody? Quorum going to be nice this year? I don't know. Scroll back up so you can see the earlier tiers. I'll scroll up in a minute. The GOAT is back. Was good. What'd you say about Kamara? He's ranked RB51. I'm going to move. I think the thing is, I can move him up. What the hell? This thing just be wanting me to come off of TikTok. Unable to verify. Try again. So the thing is, when it comes to who was I just talking? What was I just talking about? What was I just talking about? I can't remember. What was I just talking about? I lost my thought. Oh, Alvin Kamara. Good call. So when it comes to Kamara, just wait. Nobody else believes in Alvin Kamara. They think he's washed. He only had 300 yards last year. He's never cracked 1,000 yards. Just wait. Get him as your RB4. Imagine having Alvin Kamara as your RB4. Just wait. Just wait. Nobody else is taking him. Everybody hates Alvin Kamara for some reason. I don't understand why. Right? So at RB51, you're telling me right now there's 50 running backs that you'd rather have over Alvin Kamara, who's a number 2 running back for the Saints right now? What? Are we kidding? Tell me what Dylan Sampson, tell me what he provides over Alvin Kamara. Just tell me what upside. What upside does Chris Rodriguez have over Alvin Kamara? Genuinely. What upside does Tyrone Tracy have over Alvin Kamara? Tell me. Right? I think the hope is like Travis Etienne's going to be this 20 to 25 carry guy, when in reality it's probably going to be a dual backfield. And Alvin Kamara healthy is a good thing. I know the efficiencies come down. He's older. Passing game work will still be there, and we're still going to see signs of Alvin Kamara. I think Alvin, honestly, is probably like up here. You don't have to draft him there. You don't have to draft him there. Okay? That's what I think about Alvin for the person who was asking. All right. Next up, so this is an interesting range, right? Because it's the top backups, right? And one starter. I think JK is going a little too low. And I also think this is one of those situations where I like both of the backs here for Denver. One of them is going to hit. If it's J.K. Dobbins, you got the floor guy. You got the weekly RB2. You got the weekly RB2. You got the red zone guy. You got the 80 to 100-yard guy on the ground. But what you don't have is the upside with RJ Harvey. So I like RJ Harvey a little bit more this year, and I know a lot of people are concerned that he might not get the work. They drafted Jonah Coleman. I hear all this stuff about how RJ Harvey, analytics-wise, wasn't where we want to be. I'm not hearing that shit. I'm not hearing it. Give me the upside with RJ Harvey, who the team handpicked in the second round. Give me the guy that's explosive. Give me the back who, if something does happen to J.K. Dobbins, who, listen, until he was with the Chargers, literally had been injured every year of his career. He got injured last year. Until we see, give me the guy who has the upside to be like a weekly top 15 back. And for me, that's RJ Harvey. For me, that's RJ Harvey over Dobbins. Very close to one of these guys. One of these guys is going to be it. And the Jonah Coleman thing, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying Jonah Coleman coming in here and taking over this backfield over J.K. Dobbins. I think he's, in case J.K. gets hurt, which it's been proven he's been hurt, now that's the reason why I'm taking Jonah Coleman. In best ball, in redraft, the hell? Jonah Coleman? Hell no, man. We're not doing that. So for me, give me RJ Harvey for the upside over Dobbins. And I think Dobbins is a safe player if you've already taken the upside players earlier, okay? Very similar spot. Love Rico Dowdle here. Love Blake Corum here. Love Monangai here. These three, I think, are right here. The player I'm going to move up is Rachaad White. And to be honest, I'm actually going to go like this. I like Rachaad White a little bit more than most. I think he has the easiest path to being the starter. JCM, okay, that's fine. You like JCM, cool. I'm not a big JCM guy. I wasn't last year. And I think he proved last year, like, even with a full workload, he's not like an RB2. He's a hit or miss flex, right? Not super involved in the passing game. The Washington offense, when it's healthy, is going to go. They're going to move quick. And I think that's why we get Rachaad White. We have to assume, like, Rachaad White's going to be the guy in this offense. Hear me out. In Tampa, Rachaad White was the guy until they drafted Bucky Irving. And then last year, flip-flop because he got injured. He was still the guy, and then he got hurt. Bucky Irving took over. Or that was 2 years ago. He got hurt. Bucky Irving took over. Rachaad White fell down the pecking order. He was injured. You go to an offense now with your college quarterback. Your college quarterback handpicked you, said, here, I want you to be part of this offense. They were slow last year offensively. The offense moved a little slower. With Jaden Daniels, you want him to move a little bit faster. So you go get a running back in PPR who now has 50 catch upside, who could take over lead back duties, And if, JaCorey Krosky-Merritt isn't this elite, talented back, he had a good stretch of games. He caught everybody by surprise. That's why everybody loved him. 7th round guy. Rachaad White was a good football player at ASU. Like, that's what you want. And now you get back with your college teammate. For me, I think Rachaad White's going to be a hell of a value down here. Outside, that might be the last starter that you can get at the value. Him and Jordan Mason seem like the last starters that you can get outside of starter value. And I love drafting starters. Put it that way. Love drafting starting running backs. Rachaad White up here. Got Rico Dowdle, Corum, Monangai. I think all kind of come with similar workload question marks. I am going to do this. I think Jordan Mason's a tier. But I'm going to leave Jordan Mason here. Then you got Aaron Jones, Kenny Gainwell, Krosky-Merritt. And the last one I'm going to leave in this tier is Jonathan Brooks. I'll tell you why in a second. The last one I'm going to leave in this tier is Jonathan Brooks. So, if you guys are wondering, these are my rankings. They're on Half Point right now. I'm going to get them all updated over the next few weeks. Draft Guide will be out after that. But last year I had my rankings on Fantasy Pros. This year I'll have them on Fantasy Pros as well. I'm live updating this right now. I haven't published it yet. I won't publish it until all positions are done. I'm just doing some light work right now with you guys because I had a few people ask me about my rankings where I had people. So I want to give you guys early insight to where I'm at with things. Appreciate all the love y'all been showing me on TikTok too, sending me all the shit. So appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. But this is the next tier, okay? And I think there are guys that have starter potential, like starting running back potential as backups right now, or in very questionable situations where we don't know who the clear one is. That's this tier, okay? And for whoever asked me to scroll back up, that was the scroll up. Here you go. Tier 1, Bijan Gibbs. Tier 2, McCaffrey Taylor. Jency Barkley, Cook, Hampton, Henry, Brown, Kenneth Walker, Devon Achane. Tier 3, Brees, Kyren, Jeremiah Love, Javonte, Josh Jacobs. Tier 4, Etienne, Swift, Henderson, Judkins, Tootin, Irving. Tier 5, Montgomery, Jadarian Price, Cam Scatterbo, Jalen Warren, Tony Pollard, Stevenson, Chuba Hubbard, 6, Jordan Mason, RJ Harvey, JK, Rachaad White, Rico, Blake Corum, Monangai, Kenny Gainwell, Aaron Jones, JCM, and Jonathan Brooks here in tier 7. The last one I'm going to talk about is Jonathan Brooks. All right. Last one I'm going to do is Jonathan Brooks. And then Alvin Kamara needs to be up here. I don't think he's in the I'm putting him in this tier. You don't have to draft him in this tier. The problem is with some of my rankings, right, that I would say the big problem with J-Hen rankings is that if you draft just based off of the rankings, you can miss out on value at the ADP. I don't think you need to draft Alvin Kamara this high. You don't. He goes way later, okay? So just know I am putting him in this tier because it wouldn't shock me if he's providing this kind of value and upside. It wouldn't. I don't think Alvin Kamara is going to be an 8 to 10 touch guy. And if you think that, move him down. I hesitate to put him in here because I know a lot of people use my rankings to like draft. So just know I'm going to move him back down, okay? Just for the sake and purpose of this exercise, I'm going to move him down. You do not need to take Alvin Kamara, but this is where my head is right now on Alvin Kamara. I think he is the same value as having this. I think he's the same value as having this. I'm moving down here, okay? Just so y'all know where I'm at. The ones who are watching, I'm moving him down here. But that's the tier I think he's capable of, okay? All right? Y'all locked in with me, so y'all know. Illusions was popping. Ryan was good. Was good. Jonathan Brooks. Where were we taking Jonathan Brooks last year? Anybody remember? Anybody remember where we were taking Jonathan Brooks last year? It was high. People were excited about Jonathan Brooks, and I had to say, look, slow to roll. He was injured, coming off a major injury. Got injured again. 8th round, exactly 48. It was 8th round. There was a lot of people excited about Jonathan Brooks last season. My biggest question was like, when is he going to get to play? When are we going to see him? When's he going to be healthy? And unfortunately, this guy has dealt with some major injuries. I think coming back from it, seems like he's fully ready to go now. There's been a lot of hype about him this offseason in camp, and I'm super excited about Jonathan Brooks because I think Chuba Hubbard is a good back, not great back. There's a reason I think Rico Dowdle had so many touches last year. There's a reason I don't think this team is fully bought into him being the guy, and they went and got Jonathan Brooks in the second round. To me, I think if Brooks gets any kind of opportunity to touch 12, 15 times by week 6, we're going to be seeing him as the lead back. The same thing we saw with Rico Dowdle last year and having 1,000 yards in Carolina. Jonathan Brooks will get his opportunity. I think this offense wants to go a little bit faster. Chuba Hubbard kind of slows this thing down at times, and he's been the guy now for the last 2-3 seasons. So that kind of wear and tear it showed last season when he started to break down a little bit. The efficiency has also has kind of gone down. I think with Jonathan Brooks, we get a hungry young player, former second-round pick, who has the makings like he would have been a first-round guy had he not been injured. And I think when we take Jonathan Brooks, we're going to get some good value as like your third or fourth back. I don't think you need to reach on him, but I do think if he ever gets a starting gig, we're talking about a guy that's like top 15-ish value on a weekly basis. I think Jonathan Brooks as a starter is there. The same reason why everybody loved him last year, the same reason why, or was it 2 years ago? Last year, right? Same reason why everybody loved him is the same reason why I think that's still there now. It was 2 years ago, right? Same reason why I think it's still there. But for me, Jonathan Brooks, he's one of the highest upside plays in this range. Highest upside. Jordan Mason, for me, I think should already be in this range. He's not. I got him 10 spots higher. Kyle Monangai, I'm not as excited about as the rest of the fantasy community. I think Jonathan Brooks, tier-wise, I have him here. I think he's going where he's supposed to, but tier-wise, I have him up here. I don't know why people are hyping up Jonathan Brooks, Chuba the main back. We'll see. I just went over it. I don't think the team really believes in him like that. Professor Jahan, I feel like this is a fancy lecture with the top professor on campus. You already know, man, if you're here for the first time, do not make it the last time. Hit the follow button, man. I've been doing this for a minute. If y'all just see my face for the first time, I've been doing this for a minute. We've been winning a lot of championships here over the years, and it's only going up. So, Nash, man, appreciate you, homie. Evans said Panthers also signed Chuba for a big contract 4 years ago. It doesn't matter. They can get rid of him. Contracts don't matter in the NFL. It's not fully guaranteed. Not fully guaranteed. To be honest, it's just going to be 50-50 split with these guys. This range, that's the question mark. That's why they're in this tier. Otherwise, some of these guys would be higher. First times here sounds like a great place to be. Lyle, hey, Lyle, this is a great place to be. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Ricky, were you in Vegas the other day? I swear you. Why don't you come say what's up, bro? If you ever see me out in public, bro, come say what's up. Ricky, yes, I was on the strip the other day. I was. At night, it was on Friday night. I was in Vegas for Champs Weekend. I'm doing some fantasy esports stuff coming up soon on the page. I was. You should have said what's up, bro. You should have just walked up. Should have walked up on me. A lot of fantasy doctors call the second ACL surgical mistake. Ooh, interesting. Rico snatched his chain. Yeah. You should have said what's up. You're like 6'5". Yeah. I'm taller than I look in this chair, huh? You doing circa millions? Nah, I was in for fantasy champs. For Call of Duty champs, not fantasy champs. Call of Duty champs. I was there for Call of Duty champs. So listen, I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna answer questions. Now it's time. If you got more questions about the rankings, go ahead and let me know, but I'm going to stop here for now. Bijan Gibbs, tier 1. McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, tier 2. Genty, Barkley, Cook, Hampton, Henry, Chase Brown, Walker, Achane, tier 3. Brees, Kyron, Love, Javante, Jacobs, tier 4. Travis Achane, ETN, Swift, Henderson, Judkins, Tootin, and Bucky Irving, tier 5. Montgomery, Price, Scatterbo, Jalen Warren, Tony Pollard, Stevenson, Chuba Hubbard, tier 6. Jordan Mason, Harvey, Dobbins, Wright, Dowdle, Corum, Monangai, Gainwell, Aaron Jones, Krosky, Merritt, Jonathan Brooks, tier 7. What do you think Jalen Warren's ceiling is? RB2. 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 I think he could be an RB2. And I think Rico Dowdle could take over that offense at any point in time. I believe. McCarthy back. He excelled in McCarthy's system. Why do you have Genty way above Josh Jacobs? Gentry just has way more upside than Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs at best is going to be 1,000 to 1,200 yards, 8 to 10, like 10 touchdowns. We know who Josh Jacobs is. If Gentry gets receiving work in Clint Kubiak's system, we don't know what he is. I think the potential for Gentry supersedes anything Josh Jacobs can do in PPR. And this is PPR, by the way. So, like, pass catching matters. I miss you. I miss where you have Tootin. Tootin is up here, tier 5. Pat's been big on run game, adding O-line, blocking, Gilliam. Yeah, I really like Travion this year. 48. I really like Travion this year. I could see a world where Travion's up here, like Chase Brownish. I can see that. Where you have Kenneth Walker ranked, number 11. Number 11. I talked about it. I have this all on YouTube. So if you're only on TikTok, go to the YouTube page. I'm live on YouTube. You can rewatch this live, and I'm going to clip this up. Probably going by tiers. Favorite way to draft RB first? Nah, best player available, always. Raiders O-line is bottom 5. Good. Give me more pass catches. Did you do quarterbacks already? No, I haven't done quarterbacks yet. Not yet. Thoughts on Olave this year? I'm not super excited. I think he's good, just not super excited. Hey, J-Hen into esports, bro. Let us see it. Yeah, it's about to – J-Hen is about to – we about to turn up, y'all. We about to turn up. Ryan, we about to turn up, my boy. We about to turn up. Bro. It's going to be exciting because I'm going to have, like I said, Call of Duty. We got Call of Duty. I don't know if any of you guys play like League of Legends, Valorant, or CS2. If y'all play any of those, get ready. I got some content coming. And I got a fantasy platform. If y'all haven't downloaded Player X app yet, get on it, bro. Get on it. It's free too, so it's non-gambling. Non-gambling fantasy. It's called Player X. PlayerX.gg is the website. You can download it from there. Are you going to do QBs, wide receivers today? No, I'm actually about to get out of here right now. I'm about to get out of here. In a few. Not right this second, but in a few. I really believe in Tootin this year. Me too, bro. Me too. Finally, the JMO year. I don't know if I fully believe that. I wanted to think that last year. And at the offense, and they were going to be like, hey, JMO, we're going to give this thing to you. But St. Brown's too big a part of the offense. Like, as much as they want JMO to be the guy, unfortunately, the offense goes through Gibbs and it goes through ARSB first. Has to. That's how the chains move, right? You got Laporta back healthy. Like, he's a weapon. My biggest thing with JMO is, hear me out. My biggest thing with JMO is the team going to give him 150 targets? It's going to be mostly deep ball stuff. So in games where teams are limiting what JMO can do, how is he going to eat the same way? Especially when St. Brown's going to kill whoever he has in the slot every time. He's going to be open. Goff already has a tendency to throw his way. Goff would have to kind of change the direction of his natural tendencies in pressure situations. He's already shown you he likes St. Brown. St. Brown has been top 3 receiver in fantasy specifically over the last, 4 years now? Why would that change? Last year they said the same. I had really, you guys know, I had really high optimism for JMO last year. I did. And he is who he is. Mostly a deep ball guy for this offense. I think if JMO went to another team, we could have a conversation. But I think right now, I don't know. I would love to agree with you. I just don't know if I can. And if he hits, I think if JMO hits, I mean, the speed is real with JMO. It's just, are they going to use him in other situations and really force the ball his way? What's changed? That'd be my question. What's changed with the situation so much outside of we want to get him the ball? Is he ready to really take that next step as the guy? Just RB today's yes. Draft strategy this year, always best player available. Primetime season. What's good, my boy? We definitely get another championship this year. On that note, y'all, hey, tap the like button. I'll be back very soon. You're gonna see these. If you're looking for this, it'll be on YouTube clipped up. Gotta go. Peace out, y'all. EWC. We're gonna talk about that soon, Primetime. That's not Primetime, that's Ryan. We're gonna talk about that soon, my boy. Peace out, y'all.